It's stage 20 of the Tour de France. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. It's career mode, episode 127. And this is it. Today is the last decisive day, the last one to compete for the overall. And we lead the overall. We lead the overall by more than a minute. But we are up against one rider in particular in Barrow, who is only just over a minute behind and has an 80 time trial. So big task for Rodriguez. Right now, also a big task for me to find the balance to get the most out of the riders throughout the 41 kilometer time trial. I've got to balance that there are two climbs, a lot of flat sections and not much descending, which means the typical 76 isn't going to cut it. So far, Mishik Smith, one of the better ones on time at the first checkpoint, and not too far of a deficit. Telford went out too hard. He was at a 74 initially. He's a terrible time trialist, not a good climber. Smith and Killen are going to be much better indicators for me. So I'm running Smith at a 73 throughout to see how that does. I'm going to run Killen as a 74 throughout with Telford. I had to drop him very quickly to a 72, and then he recovered enough energy to actually give that last little push at the line to take 29th overall, which of course is way down where he could be. But you can see how Smith is actually moving past Pache. Ruch, he's running well and not that far in deficit right now, meaning I think I could probably push a little bit harder with Smith than I am, but I really want to draw comparisons. I need to know how does a 73 actually look at the end? Is the actual categorization of the climb just 1.6k, 10% at the top, so it does get pretty steep, and that is going to do some more damage to what we had here. Smith on a 0, Killen's on a +2, so Killen could put in a pretty decent time. Smith, you can see there, just a minute and a half down. One rider behind us going even quicker than we are, but otherwise we were definitely faster than those around us. And this is that part where you get a little descent, but you can see he's still riding. This is not arrow tuck downhill. So there might be a couple sections. Here's that rider who's, oh no, that's just Rutsch coming back at us. We recently passed. There's that recovery, and now you can see, oh, he could definitely handle maybe a 78 towards the finish line from here on out. 3K to go. Still got a little ways till Johnson's coming, so. Okay, 1.8, go even harder here. 1 kilometer, attacking the line. And Smith, 7th across the line. Pretty good. Minute 29 down is all, and we did gain time in that last sector. So that's one thing to watch out for. The 73, plenty of energy left. Let's see what happens with the 74. Killen, a 78 time trial, 75 mountain today, 76 resistance. The 3 primary attributes that we'll be using today.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
So far, so good. He's still got a decent amount of energy left as he is done climbing. And look at that. He was 3rd at the first time check. He is 1st right now. 47 minutes, 13 seconds. It's an hour 3:08 for Godin at the finish. Ahead of Campenarts, by the way. And Van Aert. Van Aert was 8th. Okay, so still recovering. No surplus right now, though. So maybe 74 is that right amount. Now he's got a little bit of surplus as we head towards the finish, which means I think we can finish on about a 76. But it looks like a 74 is the most balanced way to go. And then you can just kind of push with whatever energy is left to the finish line. Attacking and into the lead for now by 18 seconds for David Killen. So yes, that is the right balance. 74 it is. So on to Johnson. Not the time trialist that the others are. So actually we want to save a little bit for the climb for him as he's a 77 mountain, 72 resistance. So we're going to ride a little bit of an unusual way. I've also got to watch out for the fact that Berwick's about to start. Millar's about to start again, not too far away from here. Still a little while until Rodriguez goes, as we very much focused on one man and didn't worry about a GC position for others. So let's put that up to a 75 while he climbs. Let's get Berwick sorted out here. 74. How's he looking? Similar. 79 mountain today, 69 time trial. 81 resistance. Dang. We're going to have to keep him at about that 74, though, because I don't know how I'm supposed to manage this. Same with Millar. Terrible time trialist, but a good climber. Okay, Johnson's over the top, so let's back off to a 73 again. You are climbing, so we'll do that 75. We'll do the 75 for you as you climb. And we'll just try to keep an eye on it as long as we can. Once we get to Rodriguez, though, nobody else exists. Killen's time has been beat. Dabad goes top, Asgreen goes second, so Killen, it's going to be a good time, but it won't hold out, and that's to be expected. Okay, Ginn getting ready to set off. He is balanced, so we'll keep him at that 74 and not have to keep an eye on him for a while. Johnson, just about ready to start climbing again. And you can see how he's definitely conserved some energy here. He is not in any sort of major deficit. Now onto that 75. Okay, down to that 73 for these guys. Geraint Thomas just went top. Wow, he's quite far down the order. Looks like we could potentially crack 1 hour on this time trial, but maybe not. It's going to be pretty tight. Still 30 riders until Rodriguez goes, so Geraint Thomas way down the order. I mean, he's already crossed the line. Johnson was 49th, so outside of the top 50 for Thomas. Nearly done climbing for Johnson. Berwick is probably climbing by now. Yes, he is. And Millar, just about. Okay, up to that 75. Johnson, just about to hit the top. Let's see what happens with that 75. Will he still have 75 at the bottom? Can we do a bit of 75 on the second climb especially? We'll see if we can get away with that. Berwick still climbing well. Johnson not fully recovered yet. And still at a bit of a deficit, so we might have pushed too hard for him. Down to the 74. And he's almost coming even. Lara climbing well. Catching up on Toynes, or at least it looks like he's catching up. Over the top, 73 to recover. Johnson out of energy before the line. Here comes Berwick. Berwick looks like he might have a similar problem. So that climbing method did not quite pan out. These guys are terrible time trialists though, so it's to be expected that they weren't going to be putting in great times. See Berwick nearly to the finish, but nope, there goes the energy, just over 1K. 28th. It's Millar. Gonna have to hold that 73. He's still got 3K to go and nearly out of energy. Again, over the second climb is 4th place, 44 seconds down. Rodriguez, we're getting close. Millar, out of energy. To the line, 60th for him. Killen still in 7th. And Ginn looking like he's going to crack the top 5 potentially. In fact, he's already starting to get a little bit of energy conserved here for the final push. Gunalan goes top. Total unknown there. Again, pushing hard. That 74 definitely does save a little bit for that last push. 1K to go. Attack. 99, 99, 99. 3rd place, 26 seconds down. Pretty dang good. And here comes Rodriguez. Great timing on that part as we are ready to go for our team leader. Oh, he's got a good race day condition. He has got a good race day condition. Yes. We might be able to push 75 for a good portion of this. 83 time trial. 84 mountain. 84 resistance. Plus 4 race day condition. He came to win. He came to win. We are going to push that 75 for a good chunk of this because of the condition. Ugaz went top of the timesheets by 1:09 and did break the 1 hour mark. Sergio Ugaz, Colombian rider. 2 unknowns at the top, but Thomas is 3rd. Ginn is 4th. Asgreen, Gross-Schartner in the top 10. Bowden, who was competing for stages there and won one of them, in 8th. Formulo is 10th. Breidensholt, who we are targeting potentially for next season, is 12th. Killen is still up there in 13th. Toynes, Moscon, Godon Demoulin just 20th for him, 317 down. All right, we definitely have a bit of a deficit. Let's go through this next stretch at a 74, as we certainly pushed harder early on to establish a good time. But now let's conserve some energy. We are the last one on course, so we will know exactly how we are doing. We are 13th, a minute 6 down at the first checkpoint. Ouch. Let's go ahead and check that first checkpoint. Ugaz, Thomas, Gunalon, Asgreen, Sivikov was 5th there. There's Gin, so we're behind Gin's time. But Gin was a 74. We were a 75. I'm very confused as to how that happened, how we were 20, almost 20 seconds behind Gin. Climbing yet again. Let's see how we're doing this time. Dang, that was a little worrying. I mean, we went 74 part of the way, but we went 75 much of the way. And Gin was on 74 that entire first sector. Okay, not a big deficit, so we're actually still looking pretty good on the energy. And look who we are catching.
This climb is feared
We
by
are
many riders.
closing in
The
on
percentages
Barrow.
are very high.
We're closing in on Barrow. 7th, minute 3 at the second check. Comparison. Hold on. Slow down. Let's see what's going on. Okay, second check. Guz. Sivikov moves up to 2nd. He's already crossed the line. 2nd overall. Moss, Mernick. Gin is now 8th. Zeta is 16th. Okay, back here where it matters. So Ugaz half a minute clear of Sivikov. Rodriguez minute 3 in 7th. Barrow minute 21. So we are up 18 seconds after the second checkpoint. He needs to gain about a minute 20. How much does he need to gain? Minute 13 behind. And we are up right now. So we got to make sure we do not burn out on our way to the finish. So let's back off to a 74. Running out of energy is going to cost us the most time. So we got to make sure we have enough energy to go to the end. We don't necessarily need to win this thing. We need to win the overall. Not worried about the stage. Gin's time was a minute 38 at that second check. So we've actually moved 35 seconds clear of him now. Okay, the recovery is almost complete. Let's go back up to that 75. Let's go 76 even. The energy's fine. We are definitely well inside the top 10, and I think we're going to have a good finish. We will be top 5, I believe, at the end of this thing. Ugaz leads 45 seconds ahead of Sivikov. Moss, last step on the podium. Can we get onto the podium? We got just a small amount of energy to spare here with 3K to go. So we did manage it pretty well. Rodriguez, now 78, pushing. 2K to go from wrapping up the Tour de France. The yellow jersey could be ours. He is absolutely crawling right now. I don't know if it's because I'm doing the ×1 speed. It's freaking me out, but he is now pushing for the line. And 99 the rest of the way. 4th place, 55 seconds behind. He is going to win the Tour de France. Pavel Rodriguez has done it, just 1 second off the podium on the stage. Totally not worried about that because the other top 8 riders were out of contention. Barrow finished 9th at a minute 33, so we expanded on our lead. Gin held on to a top 10 position. There it is by a minute 51. Pavel Rodriguez will win the Tour de France. Sam Oomen stays on the podium in 3rd, obviously with time gaps the way they were. Andrade, Champosin, Alaphilippe back up into 6th. Trentino McNulty back down to 8th. Mernick and Barguil, that's your top 10. Best climber, Pavel Rodriguez, hangs on by 0 gap over Bowden, but he's got multiple stage wins. Bowden has won 1. Count back, I believe, is going to be the advantage on the final climb. So Rodriguez is also going to win the King of the Mountains unless there are points available on the final stage, and Bowden goes out and takes them. Caleb Ewan's going to win the points classification ahead of Gaviria very comfortably in this one. Theo Daly 3rd. Machete, Ekoff rounded out the top 5. Rodriguez was actually 6th there. We have seen that before, where your contenders do end up with a decent amount of points in the end. Young rider classification, first and second for Rodriguez and Barrow. No surprise there. Trentadue takes the other step on the podium. Mernick Zeta takes fifth. 24 minutes, 22 seconds behind for him. Denny Ginn was 9th overall in that classification. Millar was 10th. As a team, it's CCC and then Ineos. We move up to 3rd place, or we had already moved up a stage back, but we gain time there. 17:45 ends up the final gap. 3rd overall in the team classification as well, even though it was completely dedicated to a single man. And we're going to claim 2 jerseys, not 1, but we're claiming the big one. The yellow jersey will be ours. Now, we just need to get there in one piece. We've got to cross the line. No crash, please. No crash on the Champs-Elysees to crash out of the race on stage 21. Did I jinx it? I hope not. Let's get to stage 21 and see this thing out. Remember a few years ago when we were at the Tour de France and we won with Kevin Vermark here at the Champs-Elysees with a last moment breakaway coming out of the tunnel? That was very unexpected and very exciting. Can we replicate that today? Probably not. There's no sprinters here, but that does not mean we will sit back idly as the sprinters go off and claim this thing single-handedly. There are no King of the Mountains points available today, just a sprint point along the way. So that does mean that we are going to win the King of the Mountains, the under 25s classification, and the overall race victory with Pablo Rodriguez, as long as we cross the line without crashing out of the race today, or just, suddenly setting up to a 0 and and calling it a race. No, I'm not going to do that. No. No, but we better not crash out, huh? All right. So all we need to do is get to the end, and we're going to claim 3 out of the 4 jerseys. Oh, man. Rodriguez, a 2nd-year pro, and straight to the pros. I mean, he was not even Continental or Continental Pro before that. Straight to the pros. We brought him in as an inexperienced rookie, seeing the obvious talent and the obvious potential, and in just 2 short seasons, he is going to find himself the winner of the Tour de France. Next year, I think the target has to be, the only target that can be, is the Triple Crown. Of course, we'll try to do other things as well as improve our classics. We've obviously significantly improved our sprint capabilities this season. Still not fantastic there, but somewhat capable in getting the occasional results. Gosh, I'm going to look at flat ratings and sprint ratings today. In terms of GC, the only guy is Rodriguez. In fact, let's take a moment and check out the entire team. Telford, as it stands right now, finishes in 132nd, nearly 3 hours behind. He is our furthest down the order. So out of 170 riders that are riding into Paris today, we have 1 outside of the top 100. Of course, Rodriguez leading the way, 172 points in the points classification, 6th overall for that. 71 points, just enough to take the KOM. Literally just. Let's hope they don't give it to Gowden if he finishes ahead of us at the finish line today. It's possible that they could do that. Ginn is 33rd overall, 36 minutes, almost 37 minutes behind. 9th in the under 25s. I believe he was our 2nd highest finisher. Johnson, 50th overall, hour behind. 50 minutes for Millar in 44th position. David Killen finished 76th overall, 1 hour and 31 minutes behind. Hour and a half back. Nearly 2 hours from Mishik Smith, 95th overall, so just getting inside the top 100 in the young riders' first Grand Tour. And finally, Sepp Berwick, who is in his final season with the team, definitely his final Grand Tour with the team. He is an okay climber. He is a decent rider. And you know what? Maybe I'll bring him back just for that.
One
he
of the
should
back
sign for
markers has given
roughly
up.
minimum, but
An
he's got
attack
no
is
potential.
launched.
Berwick is going to finish 42nd overall at just over 45 minutes behind. And we are already on the outskirts of Paris now, so we're going to be heading in quite soon. And I need to now take a moment and figure out, other than getting
And he sprints away
Rodriguez to the
in
finish,
attack.
what can I do for a sprint? We got a 70 for Berwick in that. Smith is not going to be useful there. Killen has a good flat rating. We might protect him. Millar has good acceleration. Really good acceleration. Johnson. So he could be a late push.
Breakaway at the front.
Ooh, Ginn. Ginn is definitely our fast man. And Telford. So, Johnson has okay acceleration, but not like Millar.
He's
Millar's
off
got
on his
good
own. The
acceleration.
team sponsor won't be disappointed.
Killen's going
There's
to be
now
just
more
a
than
really
a
lead out
minute
guy. So
between
let's
them.
go ahead and
A
flip
couple of
this.
teams have set
Telford,
themselves up as
Ginn,
pacemakers for the
Millar.
pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Alright, 100 kilometers to go in this year's Tour de France. I'm going to speed things up for a little while. Breakaway is still not firmly established. That's pretty typical here. And we go through the tunnel for the first time. We are now onto the circuit. Don't know why the Champs-Élysées did not show up there, but okay. The Arc de Triomphe. That is. Right, coming up 60k, so we're going to need to get water. Johnson, go ahead and be that guy. Doing the laps. Not feeling the cobbles. Cobbles do not play a role here, though they absolutely factor in real life. Kind of one long 1 to maybe 2-star cobble section. Breakaway, just 3 riders. Breitensholt again up there, going for it. Now just 35k to go. So far, so good. 5 riders off the back. I believe they were involved in a crash a while back, but it's just fingers crossed that we stay safe. At the moment, we've got a little break as the pace has picked up. 24k to go. Let's also pick up our pace. Make sure we don't slide backwards at all. We want to stay right near the front and hopefully stay out of trouble. The gap has remained, by the way, and now it finally closes down. 12k to go. Here we go. Let's get on with it. Get on with the sprint that never will be. Rodriguez is the guy we're going to lead out. He actually is a little bit of a sprinter. Ginn is going to be the strongest, and then we want to get that early lead out from Millar. Millar is going to do some damage to Ginn, so it's going to have to come fairly late. And this is not going to be a traditional sprint in any way, shape, or form. Telford, I think, was the other guy. Yeah, good flat rating. And then, what did we have? Was it Killen? Yes, David Killen has a good flat rating. Berwick today has a good flat rating. Smith's going to probably go first. Smith has a little more energy left than Johnson, so I think that's the tiebreaker right there. Let's go ahead and get your gel going as well. And we're going to have to ride pretty hard for those first 2 guys because they just do not have much of a flat rating. It's been a while since I've had a sprint team this poor that we're trying to do anything with. Okay, we're already coming up towards the tunnel, and that's where we got the magic happening last time. Berwick,
The teammates of the main sprinters are not handing out tickets for a breakaway, so the stage will end up in a mass sprint.
Oh, come on, Berwick. You guys are like not sprinters or something. 7k to go. Okay, Smith ready to take over. Come on, Millar. Come on, Ginn. Come on, Rodriguez. There you go. They're finding a little space. They are not at the front. We are not going to get that special breakaway that we had a while back, but that was because we had a good flat team that had opened things up. It's 5k to go. Smith,
The
you're not going to
riders
make
are
it from
entering
there.
the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
But we are coming out front now. $4k to go. Berwick. Zeta, the great challenger, blocking us off. Stuck on the outside. Sunweb and Zeta screwed his old team today. Killen finds a little space, but look at everybody else is totally caught behind. 1.9. We need Millar, not Telford. Telford you can go too, though. But oh gosh, and then we get blocked again as we come up towards the finish here. This is not about winning. There was no way that we're going to win this thing. This is mostly about getting Rodriguez the KOM and making sure that on countback he is not going to get screwed over by Gowden. I was hoping for a top 10 anyway. Caleb Ewan, the green jersey, claims the stage. Well deserved for him. Van Aert is third. No sign of Gowden yet. Godon 18th. Rodriguez 20th, right behind Ginn. Never really could fight through that crowd very well, but we do finish ahead of Gowden and
we're waiting for the back markers who
secure
appear to be
that jersey
fairly
in
numerous
the
in
just
this
in
difficult
case
race.
scenario. We already had it. We finished ahead of them today. We should retain it. And we made it to the end. Winner. Break out that champagne. Let's celebrate. Whew. I'm actually going to celebrate that one. That was well earned. What a difference a little race day condition can make. Same rider. Now, no Yermakov, no Bernal here, but it wasn't that there was not talent. I think there was, it was a little bit further, but we finished, what, 4th in the other race, right? And there was 2 amazing, outstanding, in-your-face riders in that race. And we don't have those 2 here. And everybody else is just really good and similar to our level. But I think what we do have with this one, right, is we came in with that objective. We came in with that fitness peak. And with that fitness peak, we won multiple stages and got ourselves into the lead. And then without the fitness peak, but still the objective, and still good race day conditions throughout. We never had a negative the whole race. We had +1s and +2s most days, and that's exactly what we were supposed to have. That +4 took, we had about a -2 net. I think we finished right about 0 or maybe a -1 on net on what we should have had. So we were right where we should have been. Now in the Giro, we weren't. At the Giro, we averaged about a -1 on where we should have been, and where we should have been was a 0. So we had a -1 overall. Here we had about a 1.5 to 2 because that we fluctuated between an expected +1, +2 most days, and then we had that +3 for a short while at the beginning, but of course most of that was sprint stages that we didn't even participate in, and that fitness peak was gone pretty early. But we got what was expected, and when you put that all together, maybe, counting those early stages, maybe it was enough for a +2 average. A -1 versus a +2, that's a significant difference. And man, oh man, did it make a significant difference because we just effing won. Okay, all right. Woo. Yeah, we did it. Okay. Minute 51 to the good over Brian Barrow. Almost comfortable in the end. 3:21 to Uman, 6:37 when you first step off the podium. That's a good size gap. That's a good size gap. And that's similar to what I did to get 4th at the Giro. It was a very tight contest, and then I squeezed my way into that 4th position. Here, a little bit better race day condition. Same rider. Claim the win. No Bernal, no Yermakov, and we lucked out on that, and that could have been the difference between 1st and 3rd. Either way, we go home with the awards. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to smash that like button in honor of Pavel Rodriguez and the title. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.